Alright folks, turn 21. Rithia has broken out, as I anticipated they would. They've got about 30 units in total remaining, so not a big force. 12 soldiers of the setting sun. That's the best they can muster. They do still hold on to a few provinces, so they have some income. They will be able to recruit more troops and mages. My army over here in the unknown marshes hit a fairly significant Rithian force, so this is their other field force, essentially. We came off the better in this fight. We inflicted a lot more casualties than we took. Well, not a lot more, about a third more. And of course we will have scattered the enemy as they retreated. Some of our units also retreated, and we did lose 2 more of our Malaya Druzhina, so we're running very, very short on cavalry. But overall, not a bad engagement here. And of course we forced the survivors back to their palisades. They had a big old blob of independent heavy infantry in the front. A couple mages in the back throwing acid bolts. They did some pretty significant damage to us, but the melee engagement went in our favor, despite them having somewhat superior archery, and we managed to just rout them out through sheer force of will, as it were. So that was fine. Did have some retreaters, unfortunately, so a few units scattered back, including these 6, which we're going to have to pick up. But we've got Pafnuti. By the way, Pafnuti is a super common name in Bogarus, I've noticed. I've got like 4 Pafnutis running around right now. But Pafnuti here is leading 26 more units forward. He's going to grab these guys in Imain. And I'm actually going to take the time and spend the money to recruit a few lizard warriors as well, which will help me. And I'm going to cancel these guys in order to get the gold, to drop down 1 more lizard warrior there, and then I'm out of recruitment points there, out of resources, then recruitment points there. Okay, so then I can pop in like 3 of those guys. Okay, great. So plenty more troops moving north. Absolutely going to be able to overwhelm Rithia still. It's just going to take some time. This force is going to move down and move over here and besiege this palisade. Should be able to crack it fairly quickly. It'll take a few turns, but we're going to surge our troops over that way, take out the palisade. We're not going to try to fight for Rithia just yet. What we are doing, however, is laying what I'm hoping is a little bit of a trap. I'm dropping 2 groups of mercenaries on this province, backed up by these troops under Oathkar's control. So both groups of mercenaries that I'm recruiting are pretty terrible, but the numbers that they give me, if I get them both, will, I think, do the job. So we've got Fisherman, who has 25 Ictiads, who do have nets, and then we have the Lost One, who commands 20 Lobo Guard, so about 45 units all told. What I'm hoping is that I can move this army over here, take out Uzidyazrin, and place it under siege, and meanwhile his 30 units here attempt to move out to sandwich me. And they run into Oathkar's troops, plus the mercenaries, plus I should actually beef up the province defense pretty significantly. Plus a whole bunch of province defense, woodsmen and woodsman blowpipes. Yeah, let's actually kick the province defense up even a little bit higher. Like, say, 16, and then I can still recruit 1 Druzhina down here. And hopefully this army attacks, hits here, and bounces. That would be my ideal situation. He may be hoping that I actually stay here and he gets to attack me with both forces, in which case he might be able to take me out. He has 30 units here in Rithia, including 12 of his sacreds who have the Sun Awe, which is pretty significant. And then over here he has the survivors of this army, so about 40 units. Or however many of them retreated, plus a turn's worth of production at the palisade. So about 30 units there, that seems about accurate. So a total of about 60 units. He could probably take on this army with that, since this army is itself a little less than 60 units. But if this army moves over here, they can win this fight. And I can hold his palisade under siege, prevent him from producing there, and get the rest of my troops rolled back up. Rincewind is here. He's actually sight searching. I could send him in, but as I said before, I don't really want him to be in enemy dominion, especially this is actually quite deep in enemy dominion. But next turn I'm going to hit Conjuration level 5, at which point I will have the full-sized air elementals. So I am deploying a little bit of a Mage Corps. a total of 5 Astrologists with air gems to summon air elementals. Once I hit Conjuration level 5, I think the next step is Evocation. Go down to get Storm and Thunderstrike, so I think Evocation is going to be my second level 5. After that, I need to start researching Blood. It's going to be important to start working on my way down Blood and start building up some occultists to start making use of that blood and start blood hunting. Because breaking into Blood is one thing that will make me very, very dangerous in the later game. Also, I need to start recruiting sometime pretty soon some starci. I need to start getting some of these cross paths going, getting some site searching potentially if they need to do that, or I mean, just get some more magical power in general. And to be honest, there's still like 13 research points a turn if I'm recruiting them, so that ain't bad. They're as much research as Astrologists. There's just a lot of things I need to be doing right now. I am actually going to be retaking Caverns of Gold. No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm sorry. I was remembering the second to last discussion. At one point, Patala had been saying that, oh, actually they changed their minds. They're just going to be backing out of Caverns of Gold. Then he went back on that and said, you know what? We're gonna stick to the original agreement. I'm gonna build the laboratory, recruit some Zots, then leave you the lab, which is fine. I did lose Ogden Mercs to a pile of barbarians, a huge pile of barbarians actually. Excuse me. Sorry, yawning, it's late. I don't mind that, except that it's reducing my gem income. But yeah, that's like 80 barbarians there, which is, that's a lot. That's not something I can actually deal with right at the moment. So I'm just gonna have to leave that for now and come back to it later. But yeah, still feeling okay about the situation. The only problem is I need to get this done fairly quickly. Like, I want to have... The goal here has to be to have Rithia conquered and done and finished and over with by turn, like, 30. Which puts me on a pretty strict timetable. Not gonna have time to recruit a whole lot more troops. In order to hit that timetable, I'm gonna have to have some things break my way. And I'm not sure if they're going to. So, you know, we'll just kind of see what develops. But I'll give it a shot. I think, I'm going to win this war. The question is just, can Rithia fight it hard enough and drag it out long enough to make it ultimately, like, not really worth it for me? Which, I mean, is kind of how, if you're rushed in Dominions, that's your victory condition. Basically, is just, oh, I've been rushed, I'm losing, I'm not going to win this. But if I can drag it out long enough, then my opponent also won't actually win. They'll just, like, lose less. So, that's what he's trying to do, and he's doing a decent job of it, but I'm hoping, as I said, that I'll be able to grab that, and then lock down Rithia, and finish him off as quickly as possible. So in any case, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 22. Alright, folks, turn 22. So, we did find a magic site, the Gallows. There was also a battle in Uzid Yazran, which I actually lost. And this battle goes to show something that's very important to keep in mind in early wars, which is that in early wars, before mages become essentially all-powerful, positioning, even of relatively small groups, can be very important. In this case, what happened was, I had my cavalry down here to attack. He had a group of heavy infantry up here to attack. And as we can see, our infantry collided in the middle. My cavalry charged into the back and didn't quite manage to finish off the enemy command before getting bogged down. He had a commander standing back there and a Makimos commander there. His heavy infantry, however, did manage to get into my archers and my command, and in the process, they effectively routed my troops. So my troops routed without killing his command. Due to this heavy infantry flanking party, which took almost no casualties, while our infantry were still fighting in the center, his infantry was, I think, winning, but slowly. And if the fight had gone on a little bit longer, I might have been able to hold it. But as it was, my troops routed, and they were then run down as they fled by the Makimos, which are not very strong troops, but do have combat speed 11, compared to the Peshtsi City Guard's combat speed of 8. So they ended up sandwiched between the pursuing Makimos and those flanking heavy infantry, who got the vast majority of the kills in his actual army, and got riggedy wrecked. So this army almost entirely destroyed. I did keep my Knyaz, fortunately, Beyond that, not very good. I have a lot of Sloth and Ard. I did get plus 15 defense in Spires of Ascension, Throne of Winter. Bloodhenge Druids attacks owned but were defeated. We hired a couple of mercenaries, so we've got a whole bunch of mercenaries right there. I'm gathering more troops up here. Now, unfortunately, I think, due to the holiday, July 4th, Independence Day in America, and various other things that have been going on, I think I actually staled. So, we will see what the next turn 23, brings to me. But I did at least have production orders in. I had troops being produced there, troops and mages being produced here, starting to recruit some occultists. Astropelagist and a whole bunch of voice spearmen being recruited here for the javelins. These guys, when led with the Knyaz, actually have decent morale, and they can throw javelins to fight the enemy light infantry, of which they are recruiting a number. In particular, their phalangites I can fight to some degree, and especially their Theophorites and such. So, that's basically the turn. I have hit Conjuration level 5, and I've got a force rolling up with 5 mages with a number of air gems each, so they will be able to summon a whole bunch of air elementals. Pafnuti here gathering troops. I've got a guy, Trast, moving over here to pick up the troops from this province, from Wicker Woods, of which there will be a reasonable number. So we're going to gather a significant army in Emain and try to strike for Rithia, or possibly strike for Uzid Yazran first and take that out. But we'll see what happens. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 23. Okay, so it's turn 24. I did in fact stale last turn. Once again, just scheduling issues, these kinds of things happen. Fortunately, there were no serious consequences for that stale. The enemy appears to be cowering like a coward in their fortifications, which is actually very fair. Like, that's a very valid thing for them to be doing right now. I'm still recruiting a whole bunch more heavy infantry and such, and trying to do things, you know. I've got a lot of troops concentrating right here. I'm letting these mercenaries go, the Lost one. I'm actually launching him on a suicide attack. I am, however, rehiring the Fisherman, and I'm also trying to hire the Bandar Band. If I can get land both of those bids, that will be a significant boost to my forces. And I've got quite a lot of forces here. 25, 60 some odd, over 100. Like, this is like 200 some odd units. If I can also get the Bandar Band, then that will be great. I've also got some more, about 40 more units rolling up from the south, and of course my recruitment of cavalry is ongoing. So I got a little bit of that as well. A little bit of cavalry, a little bit of infantry, a little bit of Monica on my mind, etc. So we're doing alright. Down here, the Patala is recruiting Camazotz as per the agreement. I'll be moving back in to take that place fairly soon. I will need to send a few troops to do that, so I'll send probably my next 2 turns of recruitment here, or 1 turn will be sent to retake that place. Got scouts sneaking all around. Research-wise, we've hit Evocation level 3, and we're just about to hit level 4. Evocation level 4 will give us Thunderstrike, which will enable a lot of very fun things with the Astropelagists that I'm assembling. I've currently got 5, but I've got 4 more moving. I have my Masters of Names researching back here, and a few occultists as well. I could, in fact, deploy more Astropelagists, and that's probably a good idea. For turn 24 to already have level 5, a level 3, level 2, that's fine levels of research. I can afford to sacrifice a little bit in the interest of winning this war. So, we've got a total of 8 more mages moving up to reinforce this army, which means in a couple turns we're going to roll straight up towards Rithia, and I don't think they'll be able to stop me. They've got about 70 units. I've got well over twice their number, plus significant combat research. We're just going to search for magic sites here for a moment. Just take a turn to do that. Actually, Rincewind... Yeah, Rincewind's going to search. Pafnuti will patrol. Of course, anyone will... You know, anyone hitting the province will activate both armies, so that'll be fine. Most of my troops are under Rincewind's control because Rincewind gives a +3 morale bonus. So he makes my troops actually, like, brave. Significantly brave, in fact. We've got a bunch of Lizard Warriors mixed in. I'm going to keep recruiting more Lizard Warriors because why not? They're not bad. They're pretty decent units, actually. And we're waiting. So we're going to wait for at least 1 more turn to get non-Bogarus troops and the mercenaries concentrated. Then we'll have these guys rolling up as kind of a secondary line. If these troops come to try and reinforce Rithia, we will destroy them. And we're going to move in, take out Rithia, with, if nothing else, mass air elemental and thunderstrike spam. Say air elemental 5 times fast. I can't say words right now. And I think this should be enough to do it. But I'm just being kind of patient about it, because God knows it could all go wrong. That's happened before. He might now actually move to unite his armies right there. If he does that, then I'll just sit here, bring up my other mages, and dare him to fight the climactic battle in a main. Which, if he does, he'll almost certainly lose. I've got my fort done there. I also finished a palisade here in Annika, which is fantabulous. So I do at least have a basic fort here on the Throne of War. Unfortunately, it made my province defense dog shit because my units are dog shit, but, you know, these things happen. I only have 5 gold right now. I need to build a lab here so that I can start recruiting mages, and I also, of course, need to upgrade this fortress. But right now, I'm spending all of my money on sweet units. Sweet, sweet units. Occultist Astropelagist getting pumped out from the capital. Astropelagist over here. I desperately need to build some more labs and increase my mage production because it's too late in the game to be only producing mages out of 2 forts. But you know what? These things just happen sometimes. Very large Olmish army moving in. Little concerned about this. That Olmish army is comparable in size to my army. Now, a significant number of it is wolves, which are very bad units, but a lot of the rest are Rangers of Ulm, and Rangers of Ulm are very effective and powerful ranged units. So that army, if it fought mine, I would actually struggle with and take a lot of casualties. He's also recruiting a bunch of Pale Ones here as Siege Shaft. That's the only thing Pale Ones are good for. So what he's anticipating is, Ulm is anticipating that I'm going to lose to Erithia's army, and he'll then have some excuse to sweep in with his troops and try to take the capital of Rithia for himself. I'm not willing to allow that to happen. Like, that's the thing that would make me go to war with Ulm and lose the game. Because if I expend all of this effort and take all these casualties and slow my expansion like I have, and then don't end up with Erithia's capital, then I'm truly fucked, as opposed to merely sort of slightly falling behind the times. But as I said before, in Accidental Ascension, the times are a lot slower than they normally are, so I'm not too concerned yet. Patala is, at this point, fairly large, actually. Their expansion really, really launched off once they got their Man-Eater out, so good on them. They're doing pretty well. They've got a whole bunch of yogis. Atlantis also seems to be doing quite well, and Utgard has stabilized. So we'll kind of see. I need to get some scouts over in this area as soon as I have them. My scout coverage is pretty decent at the moment. And at this point, I'm confident that I'm in the pack. I am not leading the pack at the moment, but if I can, within the next 3 or 4 turns, crush Erithia's army and then besiege their capital and hopefully storm it fairly rapidly, then I'll be back up to the, like, you know, leader of the pack kind of position. So, that's where I am. Those are my goals. That's what I'm doing right now. I feel okay about this. It could definitely be worse. I do like that I have several blood mages, albeit kind of expensive ones in the case of the Masters of Names. And I'll be able to start blood hunting fairly soon and turn my research into blood to get down to, say, blood level 4 or 5 and start getting out some demons, which would be pretty nice. But that's for a little bit later in the game. For right now, I think I'm doing okay with my air magic, and I think my air magic will allow me to do okay. One thing that I do have to do is I have to set these guys to summon air elementals. And unfortunately that will, if I'm attacked before I can set up a communion, that will mean I'm wasting a whole lot of gems to do that, but worth it. Absolutely worthwhile to just spam out air elementals to win a battle, and they could just kind of be slightly scattered back here behind the line. And once they summon the air elementals, they'll drop defensive buffs on themselves, and all will be alright. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all on turn 25. Okay, folks, turn 25. So this turn, there were no major clashes. My Star Child random mercenary guy bounced off of Uzidyazrin, did kill 2 heavy infantry, which is nice. And in Xanthrast, the enemy army, most of it at least, moved out. So they have 60 units, 14 soldiers of the Setting Sun, I think that's all of their soldiers of the Setting Sun, and they've been recruiting Erithian Phalangites, which aren't a bad choice. They have a shield, decent armor, decent attack skill, and formation fighter, so they can fight other infantry pretty effectively with their long spears. Still, just numerically speaking, they don't have what they need to stop me. We're gonna hold on for one more turn, get a whole bunch more troops and mages up to join us, and we will, these guys can't lead any troops. Damn, I have miscalculated. My secret is I'm not actually very good at this game. We're gonna cut out a whole bunch of these guys, because I don't need them right at the moment, in exchange for a knyaz up here, and then we'll get a couple more infantry. Actually, do I need a knyaz? A knyaz would be good. So, we also have Mahapindar the Bandar Commander, who has all of these Bandar Warriors. Bandar Warriors are nice, solid units, and we need to do a little bit of reshuffling, actually. So those guys can join that squadron. These guys can flank on attack rear, I think. Those guys are also on attack rear. Let's get him to join the Black Parade, or that squadron as the case may be. Get all of my crossbows and archers and such, or a bunch of them anyway, in one nice big unit. We're gonna set them into double line formation, actually, and we will set them to fire closest. Attack rear, you guys are on hold and attack, you guys are on attack rear, you guys should be on hold and fire closest. Attack, hold, and fire. My mages are summoning air elementals. Once I have enough here to form a communion, they'll be, you know, chained to form a communion. Trast, actually, I'll tell you what. Trast doesn't have any units he's leading yet, so he can go over here. And I don't need a knyaz. I can go back to scouts, and then just recruit as many crossbows as possible there. Okay, good shit. We're summoning one more Firebird because we have finally run out of fire gems. We've got a reasonable number of Firebirds here, so they'll spawn some good events. Not a huge number, but some. And in terms of site searching, Yarapolk, I think, has about used up everything he needs. And I don't have any disease healers, so he's going to die. Sucks to be him. I think I'm actually going to move this army in. So this whole army, all this whole force here, not Trast, and we'll leave a couple of those guys behind, is going to advance into Zanthrast. What happened in the woodlands? Ah, yeah, okay, it was retake. Wait. They must have killed a scout there. Yeah, Atlantis bounced a scout off them. Okay. Fair enough, that's fine. Yeah, I'm rolling back in. I really don't think Rithia can stop me anymore. This army is just not enough. They do have some Dadukos, but not many. And I have a lot more mages than they have Dadukos moving in, and we're going to trash them. So, shouldn't be a problem. Down here, just doing more research. I don't know why these guys have stopped researching. We're going to hit Evocation level 5 in just about 2 turns, I believe. Couple more turns before we take back Caverns of Gold, so I don't have to worry about that just yet. I would like to have a commander move over there to grab these units. Just a whole bunch of those guys. And I also got another Bogatyr this turn. Sudislav, the Bogatyr, has come to serve us. We're going to make him the Prophet because I find the idea of having a Bogatyr Prophet humorous, and he'll also be quite fast, which means he'll be able to jump around, jump around, and take thrones as necessary. Over here, Paphanuti is gonna... I would like to build a lab, but he's not gonna do that. He's just gonna stand here sort of whistling and twiddling his thumbs for a moment. Other Paphanuti is going to preach. And actually, making him the prophet could be a decent choice because he's stealthy. Having a stealthy prophet can be nice. Yeah, we're gonna make him the prophet. Sudislav can just move out. Go join the army. And that will be the turn. So, pretty solid stuff. Like I said, I think we're going to crush Zanthrast if he tries to fight here. He doesn't really have a good way to beat us. This army could potentially come over there, but it doesn't really matter. I think we are going to win this war in the next few turns. As these forces move up, besiege the capital, we've got a reasonable amount of siege strength in this army with the addition of the Bandar Warriors, so we should be able to crack the fort within like 3 or 4 turns, and that will give us Rithia. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 26. Alright folks, turn 26. No major happenings this turn. Midgard is letting us know that Utgard is attacking him, and wants us to invade Utgard, which I would be actually happy to do at this point, except that I'm of course trying to finish off Rithia. Cast Arcane Probing, didn't find anything. Pythium declared a new prophet, and so did I, and then there was a battle in Xanthrast. So my army rolled on in against the enemy province defense. No real problems. 2 very minor casualties, wiped out the province defense, no trouble. Do need to shift things around a bit so that he doesn't know exactly where all of my troops are deployed. In particular, we're going to script all of my actual units to attack immediately. I'm going to send these guys like that. There, let's put these guys right out front to die. Stagger the archers a little bit. And you can be right there. And we will put Rincewind, not precisely in the back. We'll actually have those crossbows behind Rincewind with Yakim. My mages, you will have seen that they are carrying gems. You will not have seen them cast any actual magic, but that doesn't mean he doesn't anticipate what we're doing, which is, of course, summoning air elementals. So all these guys are just going to spit out a couple of air elementals, and that will be fine. We're not waiting. We're going in this turn, because I think this turn might be my best shot at it. He's got pretty significant province defense, but I think we can take it. The Fisherman and the Bandar Band are still with us for 2 turns. God's Justice requires 400 pounds of gold for 49 men. It's a pretty good mercenary company, but I don't have that kind of money on hand right now. I'm trying to save up my money so that I can upgrade this fort and build labs and such. I need a lab there, I need a lab there. I've got 4 forts built, but I only have 2 labs, and that's honestly my biggest problem right now. In fact, I'm actually gonna no, I want those guys, I really do. Oof. How about Grid Družina? 161, 176. Yeah, let's keep recruiting the Malaya Družina. Hintal was gonna move, but actually he's just gonna hold his horses for a mow. We are recruiting Voice Spearman over here. And you 2 gentlemen should be researching. So we've hit the end of the Firebird train for now. We will try to get the Firebird train rolling again in short order. In the meantime, Pafnudi should go over here and start searching for fire sites. So these troops are moving forward. These troops are moving forward. So we've got, you know, about 70 relatively low-quality reinforcements coming up. This army could potentially try to cut Xanthrast off, but we're going to pump up the province defense so that they have a pretty sizable defense force with 4 heavy cav. Actually, to be honest, the 4 heavy cav are the only important part, so we can just make it 14. We got another free adventurer here, which is great. Another +1 commander is exciting. We'll move him down there to join these troops. We also have Sudislav moving up with a few more Malaya Družina. He will actually be the one to take command, since he has 120 leadership and is inspirational +1. So that will be great. Over here, nice big old Pythiumese army on the border. I contacted Pythium about it, and he assured me that this army is just moving down to retake these provinces from barbarians, which I believe that's fine. Uzid Yazrin, I'm just leaving to wither on the vine right at the moment. They're probably going to come try to punch through the unknown marshes, which they can do. 16 province defense won't probably hold off those guys. But they'll take some casualties doing it, and since this army has 267 siege strength, I should be able to make significant progress on the walls. Plus, of course, those troops can't actually intercept me. They could intercept my reinforcements moving into Xanthrast, but we would see how that works out for them. I wouldn't anticipate it would be great. I don't really want to recruit more lizards because, as mentioned, I need the money. Research-wise, we will hit evocation level 5 in 2 turns, which will be phantasmic. Lots of people researching. We're starting to recruit occultists, which are a little bit cheaper, and will also work me into blood magic as I go. So, you know, astral, blood, death, great path combinations, very, very useful. Meantime, all these guys are just researching, except Pozvitz, who is still casting arcane probing, in the hope of pushing up my astral income, which isn't fantastic. These troops that I'm gathering down here, we're going to spend another turn or 2 recruiting. We'll use them to retake Caverns of Gold and Ogden Mercs, which will be great. And by that time, hopefully, cross your fingers, knock on wood, we will have smashed the defenses of Rithia and be storming the gates, which I think we should be able to carry. He's going to have about 100 troops versus my 200. A significant number of mine are crossbows, and in addition, of course, I have magic support and the gems to spend. I'll form communions, and by that point I'll be able to form a communion and drop a big Thunderstrike ball on him, which will also be very useful. So I think I should be able to take Rithia. I've been wrong before, but I think, unless he's managed to pull out another surprise spell, which I doubt he has, I think I'll be able to take him. He's lost a lot more mages than I have. I don't think his research is as good as mine. Like, I doubt that he's actually reached... He may have reached level 5 in something, but I sort of doubt it. If he has, then the question is, what would it be? Level 5 doesn't really give him something that can entirely counter me. He could potentially have Maws of the Earth, if he hits level 5 in Alteration. I know he has at least level 2 Evocation. Level 5 Evocation wouldn't really give him... I mean, it would give him Gifts from Heaven, which is useful, but probably not enough to level the odds. Conjuration level 5 would give him Elementals. That's fine. My Elemental Summoning beats his, I think. Thaumaturgy level 5 would give him Soul Slay, which would be useful to try and kill my god, but wouldn't solve the problem of the army in general. I think I can handle it. So, that is the turn. That's the turn plan. After Evocation level 5, we're going to reassess. We may actually start dipping into Blood Magic, or we may go down Alteration a little ways. I'm still thinking about it. Haven't quite made up my mind there, but my immediate goal is to finish off Rithia, consolidate these surrounding provinces, retake that, and then, by that point, we're probably looking at turn, 36, 40, something like that. If I reach turn 40 in that position, then I'll be in okay shape, and the next stage will be to go to war with either Ulm or Utgard, and we'll just kind of see which of those is better, or potentially launching a surprise attack on Pythium, who I don't actually have any treaties with. We'll kind of see what comes up. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 27.